Nice to meet you all again. Agnieszka Ostrowska, Center for International Relations, and I'm happy to see you again for the second session organized in the framework of our international project that we organize with our partners from Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, Poland. We are the leader Center for International Relations. And the project is co-financed with International Visegrad Fund. Innovation in the NGOs, the subject of today's session. We are very happy to have with us Krystyna Jarek, who will lead the session with you, 3 hours with a break in the middle. She is a founder of Booster of Innovation, the company, and she's a former Chief Information Officer at Deloitte Central Europe, so she's got a lot of experience. I will leave you in very good hands in a moment, but I would like to, before I do that, to first remind you that the session is recorded. And I would like to also ask you to please mute your mics. So these are the 2 requests that I have for you. And now, yes, Krystyna, the floor is yours, and keeping our fingers crossed for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Agnieszka, for introducing me. And I would like to welcome all of you who joined this lectures. And as Agnieszka mentioned, I am doing innovations professionally for big organizations, but also I'm collaborating with other organizations, with NGOs, with some advisory, and I'm really glad to share with you some tools. What I prepared for you today, it was like simplified version because I do not want to make this professional machine I'm doing with big companies. My goal is to inspire you how to look differently at NGOs and inspire you how you can do differently, disrupt maybe some ideas you are doing. So this will be in a nutshell. I will share with you some tools I'm using for how to innovate. You will receive the presentation, so do not have to make print screens or something like that, but because you gain this presentations with tools. And I see that we do not have so big group of people. I was thinking that it's much more bigger, so I think it could be interactive, and you have questions, we can communicate. There will be some exercises. Yes, Agnieszka?
That might change. I just want to tell you that some more people could be coming, so just bear it in mind. Sorry for interruption.
Okay, so yeah, for this group of people is manageable, but it will be much more, it will be really difficult. I have something, just communication here and okay, I have to just confirm. Okay, so let's start. I will just share my presentation. And just to beginning, when I was working at Deloitte, I was responsible for Central Europe region. So I was collaborating with 18 countries from here, and I'm really glad to have you here. And I really find our region very creative one and really collaborative. So I think that it will be useful for you. As I mentioned, I'm focusing on big corporations. Does any NGO need innovation? So the question is, what are the ways that NGOs can innovate? And there are different areas for innovation. And I would like to show you some examples from Polish market. And one of them is looking for funding for different, source of grants or donors. And one of such solution is asking membership for payment. So this is something that this is the case of NGOs from Poland. This is focused on entrepreneurship female club. And the organization was focusing on collaborating with different organizations and gathering grants. But generally during the COVID, they have huge problems with gathering at them. So they asked there to join to the their club for the in mentoring program. There's a mentoring program for female, first-time female entrepreneurs, and the women who were mentors in the club are asked to pay the membership fee, and it's not small one. It's €500 per year, but this is, you know, some special club that these women can join and have this opportunity to collaborate among mentors. So this is like the innovative approach is this, you know, the source of income where you can gather them. So this is, for example, it was not paid before, but then changing the business model or the model of income gathering is important. Another example is thinking about how can you use technology, how you use the technology to scale up activities. So there are lots of, that doesn't mean that you have to invent something from scratch. You can just think about what type of technology is already available and how can you scale up your delivering service. You can do it. Here is an example, one of example that during, you know, the last 2 years occur in the market, and because I was working at Deloitte then, it was like a support from chatbot, and there was, you know, first aid for Ukrainian refugees to have the translation, especially from the, you know, countries in the Central Europe. It's not obvious to learn these countries. Their languages are similar, but it was, you know, like questions about very simple solutions, but it was only available. And as you can see, 10,000 people can be served during one day. So imagine if you would like to put people, you know, delivering information, and when you use technology, it's much more quickly spread. Another example is how you can change the roles within your NGOs. So it's like if you have the beneficiaries in your NGOs, you can think about, you know, how they transform into volunteers and other, you know, roles you have within your NGOs. And here is another example: is a leadership program. This is a huge organization in Poland, Perspective Women in Tech. And here the program is dedicated for students at the last years of their study, and they are preparing for entering the market, especially the managerial positions. And after the program, selected people who were in this program then became the volunteer for younger colleagues. So this is something that it's, you know, how you are changing roles within your delivering of the aid. Another example is accelerating funding, how you can just look for different source of gathering money. And here is a big, I think it's the biggest Polish charity program. And this is an example how you can look for collaboration with business. Here's an example for adding, it was not only the bank who was responsible for managing the money of this organization, but also there's a contract with the bank to support gathering and encouraging clients of the bank to add additional funding at the same number of amount clients were putting to this organization, and the bank doubled the amount. I know that is a huge example and huge bank involved and also huge organization. But this example, I would like to present you, think differently how you are gathering money today, and think about how can you accelerate gathering funding. Another example is using electronic payments, and this is the picture below. As you know, this physical version of payment, but there's a huge problem. People on the street do not have money, and it was difficult to gather this. So then, with collaboration with MasterCard, they started to add also electronic payments. So if you do not have money during this one Sunday during the January, you can pay this electronic one. And of course, there are big names, and not every NGOs can use these solutions. I show you that innovation is about anything you can do within your NGOs, and there is different possibilities. What is important is the idea matters. And what matters is when you map your NGOs and different types of your activities and think that how you can act differently on different steps. And today I would like to give you some tools that you can take with yourself and think about your case, because you are from different NGOs, you are different topics, you are different areas of interest. And I would like to show you the framework, how you can work. So here I prepared 9 topics. It is for 3 hours. It's a lot, but I prefer to inspire you and give you as many tools as you can take with you and work with them afterwards. But before we start with frameworks, tools, and methods, first of all, what is really, really important, we should go beyond the buzzword, because, think people, everything today is, innovative. People would like to innovate, but I would like to ask you about your definition of innovation. So if you can take your smartphone and enter, the Menti. You can use both way on your desktop. So here is the website page, menti.com. And if you enter the number, you enter this quiz, or you can use this QR code and enter the site. And here is, the question is, what's your definition of innovation? If you think about innovation, what words or short definition you are think of? If you can write words here. What answers do we have? We have something uncommon, unusual, new ways, new forms of organization, thinking out of the box, making something easier, extraordinary, something new, modern, influence differently, new vision, open-mindedness, breaking old patterns, new methods of working. Oh, wow, it's changing. But I think that every answer is great. And yeah, this is what I really like. It's an unconventional way of act. Thank you for your answers. And I think that we are all on the same page. So this was, short and exercise that exactly innovation is nothing, rocket science. It's not like not approachable. And I really like your answers because there's a huge problem that people are thinking that innovation is something not available for us. And thank you for your answers, because this time I'm really satisfied with your answers, because it shows that you know this simple truth about innovation. This is not something extraordinary or too much extraordinary, but my simple definition of innovation, when I'm using it, it's something new, it's improved, and what is much more important, it's implemented. And I'm put into green this new. It means that it doesn't mean that it must be new to the word. It is because new to the word is an invention. And innovation is something that, for example, it's something in other continents, and we can implement it into in our region that is for the first time. So this is new for our organization. So this is a different perspective, and this definition is really helpful for people who think that the innovation is the huge invention. And it is paralyzing people to make first steps. And what is here really important is the last word, implemented. Because if you have great ideas and you do not launch it, you do not introduce it to the world, it's just only idea. But innovation is something that it's real, and it is in the market. So people are often paralyzed with, with the invention of, this breakthrough or disruptive innovation. And people always think that I cannot innovate because I cannot think about another Google. So innovation are not about creating another Google. It could be also another post-it notes. It's innovation as within our reach, but we do not have to think about such, breakthrough innovations. And the same as an example with Tesla. So think about innovation that it can be done by everyone. I'm also teaching at university, and lots of young people, especially I have classes with people on the second year. So they discovered that even they are not completed or didn't finish, their study, they can innovate, they can work on their startups. So today I would like you to think about, that all of us are innovative enough. So these examples, like funds gathering with the new way of payments, gathering payments, changing roles, accelerating funding, is about creativity. It's about looking at the way you are running your organizations and think about how you can do it differently. So it's not Google, it's not Tesla. It's about, thinking differently. And your definition you delivered is exactly, I really like them because they are showing that you have the influence on the reality and you can innovate. Another thing that is really supportive for many people are horizons of innovation. I do not know if you know about this idea. It was invented in 1999, but it was evaluated several times. But it's really helpful to think about innovation in different time horizons. First horizon is about improvements. So it means that we are improving existing process. We are improving ways of delivering services for current clients. We are improving current products. So everything that is existing today, we are thinking about different way of delivering new value. Second horizon is about new solutions for existing markets, for existing clients. For example, if we are buying in a local shop, the shop owner can innovate in different for us. They can add additional services for us. They can just add additional products. They can just do something tailored for us because they know us very well. So this is something. The second horizon is not. You know the client, you know the market. And for example, if you have your NGOs and you have your scope of area, you know with whom you are collaborating. And this is the area that you can think of new ideas for them. And the last third horizon is about solutions for non-existing markets. This is, the highest level of innovation, and this is the area of the most innovative companies are focusing on. So, and also I show here the time frames used for each horizons. So the first one is the shortest one. So it's 3 to 6 months. It means about, the designing and development process. The second horizon is 6 to 12 months. And the last one is up to 3 years. And the third horizon is connected with, the academic researchers, etc. So much more developed. Here are some, third horizon examples. For example, scooters, electric scooters available on demand on street. So we have different public transports before the scooter were available, but here it was not existing. People do not have any idea that they can commute using scooter, but it was an example of the third horizon innovation. The same is with Uber. On the other hand, we have taxi, we have people who are using taxi, but it was quite different service delivered. So it was for the first time Uber can be ordered by a smartphone. You can pay for the taxi for the Uber before you enter the taxi. So this is quite a different service. So it was not, this kind of service was not available. And you can see, you know, the journey, the taxi driver you are taking it. So this was everything different than previously, and this market was not existing. Other old taxi corporations upgraded themselves, so they are just making innovations in the second horizon, upgrading to, you know, Uber standard. But before, when Uber was entering, it was the third horizon. The same as with another social media platform, TikTok. So even there was lots of, you know, different social media solutions for people, TikTok introduced something new. It was not existing. It was consumed in a different way. And the very hot example recently is generative AI, and especially ChatGPT introduced by OpenAI company. So it was not existing market. People were not aware that they need such solution. So here are the examples of the third horizon. And what is really important to emphasize here, that if you focus on only these two horizons for your purpose, it's okay. And even I can tell you that some companies, big companies collaborating on European market, they are focusing only on first horizon, on improvements, and it is okay. It is the strategy of this company. This introduction I'm showing you, there's a little bit of theory, but it helps you to think about where you can put your efforts. Are improvements enough for you, and it will be okay? And if it will be your decision, it is okay, and it is a perfect decision, perfect choice. If you focus on second horizon because you are thinking about, you know, how to generate new value, it is also okay. There is not, you know, correct answer. This is it depends on your organization. It depends on your situation. It depends, you know, how many resources do you have. But either it's H1 or H2, or if you combine both, this is the strategy regarding, you know, innovation. As I mentioned, you know, innovation beyond buzzwords. What is really important to know that innovation is something new, improved, and implemented. And you do not have to invent second Google. You can focus on the first and second horizon and think about how you can improve your organization. How can you improve delivering service to people you serve? How can you change, or whatever you are delivering? These two horizons are really, really impactful, and they are okay to deliver. Let's move on to another myth or barrier that makes people think that they are not innovative enough. Everyone can innovate, and this is, you know, great discovery. I'm working with people. But before we start about creativity, I would like to ask you about your creativity level. How do you assess yourself? And I prepared a scale, and think about yourself, where you can put your skills of creativity on here on the scale from 0 to 10, sorry. And 0 is lack of ideas. This is the moment that you are unable to think of any idea. And 10 is the level of, you know, artist level. Think about Pablo Picasso, or whatever, any other artist. And can you put on the chat number for how you assess yourself? I have 7 from Irina. Thank you. Any other ideas? I will tell you myself. So I will just 7, 5. Great. 5. 89. Oh, 85. 7. I'm really, really happy with your numbers. So 7. Perfect. So you are, very special group of people because I have this exercise for 5-7. Fantastic. When I have just talk about innovation, lots of people are not so confident like you with your creativity. So I can skip this exercise with you because lots of people are thinking about themselves. I'm not creative. And this simple creativity level helps people to discover that they are creative enough. And especially the 0 level, lack of ideas, is eyes-opening for many, many people because it's impossible to do not have any idea. Especially I'm showing examples about if your car is broken, how can you commute to work, or how can you reach your work if you go to the office. And this is the moment that people have to think about. In your case, I'm really happy with your approach, but I would like to tell you about myself. I'm an analytical person, so I have problems with my creativity, and I started about 2-3. So I just was, task oriented or problem solving focused, rather than thinking about new ideas or having as much as possible ideas. And it was about 10 years ago. And I was starting learning, how to be creative, how to change, how to add, apart from my analytical approach, how to add much more creative. I enter, creative era, especially I was working in marketing. And then I move, I think that my creativity is about 5-6. And from business purpose, it's okay. Because when I'm collaborating with much more creative people who assess themselves at the level of 7-8, it's okay. But if I need artists, this is the moment that I can collaborate with them. And how about the creativity? Do we need it all the time? I think that in organizations and doing tasks, we need different levels of creativity. And here I put some examples. Flight attendant. So when the flight attendant or shop assistant is doing repetitive or typical task, there is not much in creativity involved. If you are just starting a new flight, to just get the information how to behave, and the flight attendant is showing you, everyone knows by heart, what they are talking about, how to, the safety rules. But on the other hand, when there's an emergency and there's something, strange happens, then the flight attendant need to use the creativity how to act differently. And the same is with shop assistant. So if you are just doing, typical shopping, you know what to expect from shop assistant. But in the customer service, you can just ask, about, the product, about your need, maybe, some additional questions you have. So this is the moment that the customer service needs. And generally on the scales, this creativity level is 5-7 is really great, and we do not have the artist level creativity to move on. Okay, and yeah, so if we need special additional support, we can just hire artists or creative agencies for this 10 level. Okay, I cannot switch them. Okay, so this is a huge myth, and lots of people have problems with joining innovation process, but I see that your creativity level is really, really high, and yeah, everyone can innovate. From these 9 topics I prepared for you, one I prepared with digital tools that are supportive for running NGOs innovatively. And I don't know how many tools you are already involved in, but innovation is not about inventing new tools for running these NGOs. This is about knowing what is already existing on the market and what you can use for making, better efficiency of what you are doing. So here I have two types of tools. One is digital tools. And first of all, Google Workspace is, this is one of an example. You can use different one. And it is really useful because you can organize your virtual office. Everyone can be in one place. It is integrated with many applications, and you can use some AI built in the workspace. Here are some examples that you can use. Why it is useful? You do not have to invest in IT team. There's lots of tools available there. And if you can buy other applications, they are connected with the Google Workspace. On the next slides, I will show you some generative AI tools, and they are just seeing each other with Google Workspace. So it is really useful to use them. Another tool is Canva, and it's really developed in the recent years. It was really developed very well. And this is really, time saving for preparing different visuals, especially if you are just starting NGOs and you have to, prepare, brand identity or visual identity. So we have an access to free pictures, photos. You have lots of templates, and they are easy to customize. You can use it for, preparing logos, social media, communication, presentation, posters, website, brochures, and stickers. So in the past, you need to have somebody who has this graphic experience. But here you can just adjust. If you select, for example, presentation, you can quickly, in few seconds, you can translate it to different formats, and it's really, time saving. Here is an example from MailerLite. This is one of many tools used for marketing automation. There are other tools, you can just Google them, but this name are just an example, and I do not have any, money from recommending this name. This tool is also great organizer for collecting mails. This is important from the GDPR perspective, and it supports your management, of this contacts you have. You can just use it for, different contacts you have. You can just collect. So this is also, if you have changes of your employees or volunteers in your work, you have one place that you are collecting everything in one place. Additionally, this mailing tools helps you to prepare websites, landing page, helps you to prepare sign-up forms. Is it easy for email marketing? So you can just have the communication to different stakeholders. You can also prepare, automations. So in the past, people have to work on it for, sending emails, and it's, really, really time consuming. But if you organize your email systems, you are, in much more communication with people, and it's building your huge visibility. And the last one, which is from digital tools, I really recommend you to use is Calendly. And generally, Calendly was used for research agencies for organizing meetings with during making the service. But the type of this tool is really helpful for managing appointments. You do not have to look for different calendars and look for the dates that are available for you, but you can prepare the time when you are available and send link to people asking them if you would like to meet with me. Here you can just organize this meeting. It's also important here, there are different types of meetings, so we can just have one-to-one meeting or a meeting with you and different people can add other people to the meeting, but also it could be you with many people at once. These tools, all of them could be free, and also it's a paid version. The same is with Calendly. So in the paid version, you have much more flexibility if in preparing different options for the meetings. One of the option is having short survey before the meeting. For example, when you have when I ask for, I'm using this Calendly, and when somebody would like to meet with me, I'm just I have 1 or 2 questions depending on the topic. So one question is regarding what's your background, where are you from, so what's the company or the position somebody would like to talk with me. And the second question is, what is I'm asking them, or what's the reason you would like to, have a talk with me, or if it's connected with innovation. So what's your biggest challenge what's the biggest challenge in innovation? So before I'm starting the meeting, I have information with whom I have this meeting, what is the problem, what is the issue. So I'm much more better prepared for the meeting. Additional to value from Calendly is the option for email automation. This means that emails before the meeting can be sent as as a reminder that there will be meeting. Also, the email will be sent after the meeting, and you can put, for example, the structure of the email. For example, dear, and you put the name. Then you have thank you for the meeting connected with, and you can just put the name of it. The next step or the follow-up is something, or you can just add. And you do not have to waste your time for writing these emails each time you meet with these people, because if you have this automation is something that people have, especially reminders before the meeting are very important, because if people are setting the date, they could forget it, or maybe the email goes to spam, whatever, and it's really supportive. So I was thinking about tools that could be useful for you, these digital tools, and if you put as many simple tasks to technology, delegate this task to technology, you will be really save your time for doing much more valuable work than focusing on organizing work around you. I'm just not, yeah. So this is about, these digital tools, and here are example from generative AI tools that are really useful. Of course, Chat GPT from OpenAI and Gemini from Google. These are 2, examples. Again, I do not have any profit from the name. It is like for your inspiration, you can look for, but I'm selected this several that could be useful. Lots of people do not know how to use these tools, but I think first of all, it's a good, quick access to news and information. So I'm really useful very often for asking about the news because I'm innovation. I'm asking about what's the news or update from European Union, what has happened in the last week, or if I have make a monthly or quarterly review. I'm asking about the big changes in, for example, in India. I'm searching collaborative with companies from India, and gather information. So I'm not reading daily news, but I have organized my calendar and looking, for news worldwide. For example, it's very useful for me if I'm searching for startups from South Korea or from Japan or from Nigeria, because it's also a very innovative country. Using generative AI and ChatGPT or Gemini, it's really helpful. Second point, it's about checklist. It could be very useful if you enter quite new era or new task, or you would like to make, better organization in your NGOs. You can prepare a checklist for doing, and you can name a typical task you are doing. For example, I'm doing lots of research and have lots of, young people working with me. So I'm using the checklist. For example, please deliver me checklist for preparing interviews or preparing focus groups. And I do not have to write it and do not use time for doing it. And I gathered information, and generally I have to read it, verify is it good or not, would like to add something, but 70% of the work is done. The same is connected with different scenarios. For example, if you are organizing a meeting or an event, you can prepare a scenario for the event for this type of group of people in this place, and the outcome is this one. So you can get inspiration from ChatGPT, what kind of scenario they can propose you. So this is one way of great inspiration. The same is with ideas. If you are working on something, so you can think about by yourself, ask people you are working with, but also you can just write a note that, and you just describe yourself that you are preparing an event, an aid, whatever, but you have to name it, for women, for children, for men, for young, old people. And you are looking for solutions that could be, and you can just write what it should be. So in this way, you can just ask and see what ideas you can gather. Social media, I don't know if you use ChatGPT already for preparing posts and how your text could be improved, but I was really astonished how it is done very quickly. And it's not about copy paste and using, 100% what was produced, but the content or the core part of, of this created text is already. And this point number 6 about preparing emails or text proposal. If you are, for example, have some speeches, it's also okay to ask them prepare, an email when I'm writing to somebody, or this is the topic. I would like to show you one example, and I have to stop presenting my presentation and show you how to use ChatGPT for preparing for social media. Okay, this is it. Okay. Okay, so here is my ChatGPT, and I asked him a question. This is the question asked today. Hello, I'm working in an NGO that helps Ukrainian refugees to start a business in Poland. Please write 3 different posts on Facebook in English dedicated to the Ukrainians who are interested in setting up business and who needs to get to know how to do that with information about financial support from our NGOs. The program name is Start Your Business. And within a second, I got 3 posts. I asked for 3, so I got 3. So here's the first one. It's introduction to start your business program. So we start, embark on your entrepreneurial journey in Poland. We start your business program. And here is the description I received from the chat. And, there's a discussion, should we copy it or what we can do it? I think it's a great tool for increasing our creativity or increasing, the speed of work we are doing. We can just have more time for different tasks to deliver, or have people, not focusing on preparing social media, but preparing tests. So here is, I do not add nothing without only this prompt I was producing. So it's, are you this is the text of the first one. Are you an Ukrainian refugee dreaming of starting your own business in Poland? We understand the challenge you face and here to support you every step of the way. Our NGOs introduce the Start Your Business program designed to empower you with the tools, knowledge, and financial assistance needed to turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. I use in English here for the purpose of this training, but as well, I can just translate it differently. Second one is, success stories and the testimonials. So this is, some fake testimonials it prepared. So for me, it's like inspiration that I can promote this program with some success stories if we have in our NGOs. And the third post is, preparation is, some kind last reminder about, call for application with the deadline. So this is something that it's, reminder. Here, I think that, this AI, generative AI is really developed on text and it's preparing very, very good text. So this is good, to reuse this or upgrade this text. And it saves times a lot. Another kind of prompt I write here, it was looking for volunteers who can support our NGOs. So first question was about informing about people who can use from the program. This question was dedicated for volunteers, how to look for them. And again, I received 3 different posts, join our mission to empower Ukrainian entrepreneurs in Poland. And here is the text to use it. I do not read it because I would like to inspire you and show you how quickly it is produced. And what is important from my side is thinking about what kind of questions and how to write about it. I can gather the information. Another second post for volunteers, and the last one, urgent call for long-term volunteers. Yes, because I was asking about volunteers for short terms, it's up to 3 months, and longer terms 6 to 12. So this is something that it chat incorporated my question. And the final ask for preparing posts for social media is looking for companies who can be the donors or deliver grants for this program. Yeah, so here is, this, and it could be delivered, I've specified that it could be financial, professional, or barter support, and it produced this text. So, yeah, in the past, you need, someone who has, writing, very good in posts, or if you are focusing, I don't know what is your experience in writing posts, but for me, writing one post is about 1 or 2 hours, and not mentioning graphics, etc. So it is really, really useful, especially for NGOs, and if you are focusing on delivering your mission of your state and you would like to focus on delivering the value, you should think about how different tasks you can think about how to add technology to support you. So this is ChatGPT. And also I mentioned it about preparing emails or text proposals. So if you are sending some offers or you have some repetitive emails, you can just create the text, and then adjust or the text for the different purposes. Charlie and ChatDoc are great tools for chatting with documents. And especially it's great for two kinds of documents. And I can say it from my perspective, there's legal documents. So if you have any regulations or legal statements, they are long text and you do not have to have an access to lawyer. It's very quickly to ask questions about some conditions or maybe conditions of contracts different. And it's not, contracts you need to read. And if you do not have access to lawyer for, each time you need to ask, you can have this chat with documents. So you are asking, for example, what are the conditions of something? Or you can just ask about, how there, some penalties regarding, the contract. So this is very important to know what kind of questions you would like to ask, or maybe what is important for you, or maybe you like looking for a paragraph that is describing some specific era of a contract or any other document. So this is really, really time saving if you are just chatting with this document. The same as if you have reports or just if you are focusing on specific area of your NGOs and you are collecting, there are some global reports and you would like to cite them or just gather new insights. You can look for it. It could be, connected with women, different statistics connected with the conditions, this about the rights for women. It's not, 1 or 2 pages of documents. It's about sometimes 100, 200, especially when you are looking for the global organizations. And you can quickly ask, for example, for summarizing the document or delivering your key message. Or if you are looking for a specific country, you can ask for present me, the key message from or key conclusions for this or that country. And these tools, Charlie and ChatDoc, are using different document formats. So you can use PDF, Word, the documents, even website. So you can just use the link to the website and ask for summarizing the website. So again, this is really time saving tools. Another one, which I really recommend you, is Tom AI. It's an application for preparing presentations. So you have prepare a text and writing about this presentation. This presentation could be done with Tom AI. So I'm writing a concept of the presentation with the topic, how many main titles or main chapters I have for this presentation, then have some text for it and ask them for preparing this presentation. The presentations are done in a moment. They have great visuals. So this is something that, it's exceeding, human ability to prepare presentation in this time. And what is really important, it could be fine-tuned if you would like to do it, but it also is an inspiring, for example, you want just copy and put to your presentation. So again, it's not about spending time on preparing presentation, it's time for using a tool that it's supporting you. Fireflies, it's nice tool if you need to make some notes from meetings you are doing, or maybe you have some surveys and you would like to summarize them and do not have to make this transcription. So Fireflies, it's available, I think, in a paid version. The first 30 days are for free. But if you are doing it frequently, if you have these meetings, it's really, really useful because you have everything on paper. Additionally, it's very good because it's preparing some statistics, how much different people were talking about, what's the percentage of people. So you can just also assess, the differences between people in the conversation. And another tool, I think the controversial one, lots of people are talking about it recently, it's 11 Labs. And first tool, firstly it was used for converting text into speech. And if you write a text, It could be used as a voice, and it could be, translated into speech. But what is much more important, if you implement it in one language, it can be translated into any language. So there is no differences. And the feature that is, widely discussed is if you upload your sample voice of your from your recording, this tool can generate any text in any languages in your voice. So even if you do not know Japanese, it can be translated in this way. So beyond, the controversial about using it, is it, fake news, deep fake, or whatever can be done. If you think about it, how to generate new communication, how to spread information you are delivering, how you can reach different people in different languages, it is really supportive, and I would like to inform you that it is available. And the last one tool with AI, I was thinking about which one to select for you, which are the most useful, and when you are running your NGOs. Here's, just like for fun, maybe, or maybe for some inspiration, Character AI as a tool that you can select a persona from the history, and you can ask questions to this persona. For example, you can talk with Winston Churchill, you can talk with Princess Diana, and there are many, many other characters. Sometimes it could be useful if you are, for example, as a creativity tool or generating ideas, when you ask questions, how this person could solve such kind of question, such kind of problem. And it's a fun, but on the other hand, you can get an inspiring point of view. So that's why I would like to add you this this tool for letting you know. Yeah, here are some information about Google Workspace, and what is important that some of these tools are paid, and this is something that you need to calculate the costs and think about how much you would like to invest in them, how often you will be using, what is the value you gathered. Here is, the Google Workspace. So this is a tool that is really often used by people, and it's really supportive, especially when you are starting using documents and share this document with your team. So the number of these tools available, and also this AI adding to this tool, so you don't have to pay additionally for the AI tools. So it is also really useful for working. Here is a Canva. I think that Canva is really common. So I'm using it for, I think that it's 10 years. And so I see, how much it is developed, how intensively it was developed during these years. And I think that what is the creative use of the tool is, for example, using some kind of templates, and even if it's, connected with like some plans or whatever, think about how you can creatively use it for your organization, because graphics and nice visualization makes the difference, and you do not need pay a lot for for people, or for a graphic agency, or look for people, someone who can be supportive. And here's this MailerLite example, and it's again also has integrations. So this is something that speed up work of small organizations to reach people. Yeah. So these are the tools that support running NGOs innovatively. And as I mentioned, this is worth to think about which technology tools is essential for NGOs. So this is like, they are available, but you do not have to use all of them. Decide which version you prefer. Is it free and with smaller number of features, or you prefer paid version because it's supportive for you. Calculate the benefits from the paid version. And you do not have to use all of them, or it's better to use a smaller number, but think about how it influences your NGOs. Okay, so let's move to, sorry, I have just problem with. Okay, now I prepared 10 ways how NGOs can innovate. And this is something that you can pick up one method, 2 or 3, and think about how you can innovate. And I think that we covered this topic before the break and have exercise. So here are 10 different areas for NGOs, and you can think about your NGOs and think about how you can introduce changes. So first of all, it's a new source of incomes, whatever you call, but how you can just gather the funds and what is the cash flow, whatever you are using it. I'm using the words from business, but this is really important because you need to cover costs, and this is the question: how can you rise new revenues? Or maybe you can ask questions: what kind of skills, what kind of people you have on board, and how you can monetize them. So this is the issue that thinking differently about incomes. Second area is about new options from network. So this is the area that you can think about: what contacts or connections do you have, and how can it be helpful for implementing the mission you are working on. Who can involve your project. And lots of people are thinking that it's a small idea and not worth doing, but one of good exercise is looking at your phone contact list, and then you discovered some friend who you see 5 or 6 years ago, and today this person is on different position. But network is really supportive because you can think about new connections, new people, and especially if you have a team of each of you have different contacts in their phone. So a third area is using technology to simplify your activities. And this is the question: how you can simplify today's task, where can you save time with technology, and what you do with this saved time. How can you how can you use this one? Number 4 is redesigning processes. So think about how you are delivering processes today, and how can you change it, how you can shorten, eliminate some task you are doing, what you would like to maintain to create the value. So this is something that you can think about. Number 5 is new ways of delivering the mission. So when you set up, NGOs, or you're just working in a different way, you can just think about how to differently introduce this mission. And you can just, what we can do that is completely different for current NGOs activities, or what the current NGOs are doing. Number 6 is greater visibility. So how you can communicate, how can you be more visible to your stakeholders? What else you can do? What are different tools? The same as new contact channels, how we can differently reach your stakeholders. What are the alternatives, online, offline, network partners? Number 8 is new cost structure and reduction. It means, for example, if you have already some costs, think about how you can minimize the cost, or maybe there could be some changes in the cost structure. Number 9 is scaling up activities, how you can increase the number of people you are reaching, volunteers, benefiting from your assistance. And the number 10 is how you deliver the value for people who you are supporting, you are delivering your value. And the journey, as the idea of journey comes from business. It was customer journey or employee journey. So you can map the steps you are doing and think about how you can do it differently. So here, it is available for you, these 10 steps, and it's not about thinking by heart how you are doing, but it's something that you have some tips where you can look at your NGOs and think, select 1, 2, or 3 ideas and work on them. So I mentioned it's not about using all of them 10, but it's some list of possibilities. It is good to select 1 or 3 to work on. Then if you think about the ideas, 5 to 15, and then prepare the version you would like to test. And as I mentioned, implementation is really important for innovation. So think about how you would like to change what you are doing. And if you introduce it, then think again about other areas. So this is the steps, this is the 9 areas. You can think about NGOs, and this is, the steps you should do. But I would like to invite you to the exercise first. And we would like you to think about your NGOs and think about one of the 10 possible ways to innovate, and think about how you can introduce it into your organization. Sometimes people do not know where they should innovate, where is the starting point, and because the NGOs, it's a huge, lots of different tasks. So think about your organization. And for example, Agnieszka, if you are talking about CSM, we can just think about how to simplify by technology. So the number 3, and this is something that if you think about your organization, think how you can add technology to your processes to benefit from it. So I can make it, because I imagine your organization, I was not working and I'm not so much involved. I think that you have lots of documents, news, information used. So for example, each document, each report is produced or delivered worldwide. You are gathering it and then use technology for scanning or reports and preparing briefing for people. So there's one person who is responsible for collecting as many reports as possible globally, and then preparing in bullet points what is the most important things and distribute it to workers. So this is my imagination. How could I support you? I don't know. Is this idea is
Yes,
okay?
great. Thank you. Actually, we've been doing a little bit of that using different technology solutions, sometimes ChatGPT, to kind of facilitate our work in little things, when actually, as you said, we don't need to devote too much time to things that are repetitive and that require too much time of energy, but not maybe a lot of innovative thinking. But also when thinking about this project, we are preparing a chatbot to facilitate the cooperation and the exchange of information between our participants. This is what we are working right now about. So we will have this innovative element also in our project that you are part of. So we're currently working on it, and we should be soon able to deliver that to all of you.
Okay, great. Maybe someone else would like to share your example. So this is like, creativity, and even, there's no wrong or no answers. So if anyone would like to share your thoughts. I think that one area which NGOs really needs are the number 6, so greater visibility. So this is the communication. So lots of people are focusing. So this is my observation. So I'm I don't know if it's in each era, but it is really helpful that how to ask questions about how to be much more visible, how to deliver the value we are producing, how more people would like to be aware of what we are doing. So this is the question about, assessing what we are doing today and how can we increase our visibility and think about different tools. So I will be thinking about this point. And for me, I'm assessing it from my perspective, and when I'm running a company, is about number 2, using network. So it also is like, we are thinking that maybe we are some barriers, problems, but there is always someone who knows someone else, who can know someone else. And this is something, really innovative way to reach somebody, or not maybe reach the first person we are thinking about, but somebody else told us, ask this one, or could you change your way you are looking for solution?
Christina, if I can jump in, we've got 2 volunteers to share their experiences, Ivana and Nastasia, so maybe we could hear from them.
Sure.
And also Krzysztof Polaszek is writing in chat to us, so maybe that could also be commented by you.
Okay, Krzysztof, I think my organization needs redesign process inside by making them easier, shorter, and more understandable. Helpful would be the recreate our mission and ways to implement it in our actions. We try also find new groups of donors to develop our base. Great, lots of ideas. So this is something that, and the processes, as you can see, the redesigning processes could be, sometimes people call it boring, but if the processes are doing in a wrong way, we are frustrated. There is, some repetitive work, or some work is done and forget about it. But this redesigning process is something, especially I like, this radical approach, how to squeeze the process by 19%. So this makes our creativity think about really, really deeply what is not needed in the process, what is really, really important. And this is really helpful. And it is also good at teamwork, because the process is connected with different group of people, and it's not connected with one person. Generally, it's, in a team. So it's also, good team building work, because everyone is thinking about how to do it differently, how to look at the process. Yeah, and the recreation of mission is also great, because it's something that, times are changing. What's happened last year, it's not actual today. So this is also, being up to date, why we are here, what we can do. Natalia, right, I'm a new person to this field, and okay, good. Sometimes, if you are starting, as I mentioned, it's, overwhelming 10 and not doing all of them, but looking at different perspective. And you mentioned, Agnieszka, that there's someone else, because I have
Yes,
to...
there are 3 people that we would like to give the floor. Maybe I will start from the top, what I see. Actually, we've got, Ivana, what would you like to share with us, please? Ivana
Hello.
Holmes.
Yes, it's me. I don't know if it is very innovative, but my organization is new in Poland, because we are a Ukrainian organization. Now we have office in Poland, and for our 11 years of our activities in Ukraine, we were just applying for grants of different organizations. But now, when we are here in Poland, we were thinking about cooperation with business, but not just to come to business and ask them, help us, because we are helping Ukrainian and we are a very good foundation. Yes, but to propose for them such type like support, because many businesses have a lot of employees who are Ukrainians, and they need to have this Karta Pobytu. Yes, and not all organization has some money, yes, to hire a HR manager or somebody else who will help these Ukrainians with this documentation, and we can do it because we have legal consultations for this, and in such a way we will help Ukrainians, we will help Polish business or other business, yes, not only Polish but who are in Poland. And in such a way, if this business wants, they can give us some fundings, for example. It was just an idea. We haven't implemented it, but we are thinking about this.
I think it's a great idea. It's because as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be second Google, but I think if there is a need from on business side, and as you mentioned that filling this karta pobytu as time consuming for them, or they do not have, this expertise, it could be supportive. So this is, the starting point, mentioned on the point number 1, new source of income, and you have these skills inside of your NGOs. And then next steps, I will add number 6, how if you deliver this kind of service for business, how you make the visibility of this service. So how you would like to reach these people, how many, how you reach the companies, how do you communicate? Because you can just reach company by company, and this is really time consuming. Maybe you could go to use PR and go to a magazine, newspaper, or a journalist, and ask them for presenting your service solution, or maybe you have first a company that you start collaborating, and it would be a great information for spreading this, and in this way you can just gather much more companies to you. So any idea is great if it's supporting you.
Yeah. Thank you, Christina. Can you all please mute your mics, because we can hear some voices. Somebody's traveling on I think, the tube, from what I can recognize. Okay, and we've got another comment or a question. Nastasia, please, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you very much. We actually, in my NGO, we use quite a few of those methods and ways. And I think that like the most, probably the most innovative, or maybe we think it's the most innovative for us, because we work on network, we're mostly volunteers. We are funded by different projects and grants, which is not exactly stable financing, unfortunately.
What is your organization? Can you remind us?
Yeah, my organization is Matertera. We are from the Czech Republic.
Okay.
And we are helping mostly women migrants with their professional and personal growth. So we help with that adaptation and finding a job within the Czech Republic. So we thought, we gathered one day and we thought, what can we do differently? And we started to actually do our own products for our clients and for professionals who are working with migrants. And we did like a coaching diary, we would call it like that. So we have different pages from how to get to know the Czech Republic, the Prague, because we're based in Prague, or how to find a doctor here, how to where to find a job, what are other organizations that are working with migrants, like some reliable sources we put there. And also we have some, we call it the pages of self-reflection. We have a coaching questions, and we work with the topic of identity. So our client can actually, we don't like to call them clients, we call them our community. So people who join our community and who are recently in the Czech Republic, they can actually integrate more efficiently, if I can say so. And we also developed some cards. We call it the inspirational cards. It's kind of like metaphorical cards, but with questions. We We're aiming to we gather the problems with which are women mostly, what are women facing moving into another country, and what can they do to actually solve the problem, what can they do, what helps them with particular problem. And we also discussed in a group, we did focus groups, and we discussed what could we advise, for example, if it was our friend. And then we created those products, and now we have to think about how to make it more visible and how to make profit out of that, because making something is one thing, but we have to diversify our income, because unfortunately, as we all know, just grant financial is not stable. So we have to think of others sources of income. So that's for us. Thank you.
Okay, I think that the coaching diary is a great idea, because is it a paper version or electronic one?
We have electronic one, but we, due to support from the Prague City Hall, we actually, and the other foundation, Nadace, we were able to print them, and actually we have it in 2 languages. So we have it in Czech, and we translated it to Ukrainian also.
Okay, great. So I'm really happy that you are working and you are innovative. So this is something great. I would like, gathered some inspirations from the presentation, and I think that the number one is, this income differentiation and looking for, some independent from grants is really important. From grants is really important, and when I was collaborating with NGOs, this one was really important. So I think that especially this one, what kind of skills we have, what kind of asset we can produce and sell them to different maybe community. So this will be really supportive. And the first example I was presenting you about this NGOs from supporting entrepreneurial women in Poland. They have great programs that they suffer from this, not regular grants. And this was very challenging for them. And that's why they was thinking about this membership. And this 500 euros is really high membership fee, but also these are women who are on managerial position, and this is also they are paying. They know that they are supporting this organization. So this is something that you can test. What kind of different incomes you can just think of. And when you are talking about, this personal growth and focusing on women, this is also thinking about what are different ways or how the market is changing, and what kind of new skills or new job can be delivered. And I know that lots of Polish women, maybe it's globally, where it's virtual assistant, they can just stay at home and be working with it, but gathering the skills to deliver this kind of work is not easy to gather. It depends on, different skills, and it could be developed with, some digital companies. So this is also, some the point number 5 here on this redefining the mission you are delivering, maybe focusing on some kind of future skills needed on the market. But I think your example are great. Is the questions cards is also great with selected topics that women face, especially if you are forced to change the country and you are not prepared, and maybe you were occasionally abroad and do not know how to behave when you are in a permanent situation. So I think it's really nice. Thank you. I see that
we also, I think we previously had a question or a comment from Marina. I don't know, Marina, if you have changed your mind, or do you want to still comment on something?
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Yes, I want to say about our non-government organization. We are from Ukraine. Actually, today we had some discussion with our coordinator, and she advised us to create a website. It came from 6 type number 6. to create a website for visualization our work, and it can help us to find more donors for our activities, for our work. So and maybe tip number 3, we want to improve our electronic system of report. But now this is in process.
Okay, so I think that even, creating websites, and as I was presenting you Canva, you can just create a website there. So you don't have to, have a developer or just ask for, preparing a website in a typical way. But these tools are also used by startup, how to do it very quickly and by yourself. The same is, the MailerLite I was presenting you for the email marketing. But other tools, if you just write tools for email marketing, they have this website inside. So this is like, if you would like to build a website within one day and you do not have experience in doing it, you can do it because you have some tutorials there, how to do it. And I think even the Google, you can just make this site too. So this is something that the technology is supporting us very quickly. Of course, if you would like to have, all this design and visual identity connected with your organization, it requires much more work of doing the website. But the innovative approach is, if your task is to look for donors, it's, do the presentation or do the website as quick as possible. And it is much more important to inform what is your goal, who you are supporting, who you are looking for, what are the type of support you are expecting. So it's much important to be done than spend lots of time to preparing it. So yeah, so and even if you have that, like, websites, it's, if you support you delivering your goals, it's okay.
Thank you for your advice.
I see here.
Talking about, if I may say one question, I understand, Christina, that you want to make a short break, but before that, I would like to just shortly comment about this greater visibility, point 6 of 10 ways how we can innovate. I think that for greater visibility, we can kind of create an effect of synergy between the participants of the project. We have created a Facebook page when we introduce all of you. We give information about all the participants. Maybe if we can, I don't know, repost, we can really build a society. We will be visible to a bigger extent, and also scaling up activities. Point number 9. This is one of the purposes of our project, maybe to look for like synergy and to cooperate in the future, and that would also scale up our activities. I hope that in the process of this project, when we get to know each other better, we will be able to work together in subgroups also, to find, I don't know, possibilities, opportunities for grants, for doing something together. And this is something that we really would like to do, because this project is not only for you to listen or to share experiences, or listen to the experiences of our speakers, but we hope that during this project, which is not short, and we will spend with each other 3 hours every 2 weeks, hopefully, in a broad circle, that we will really manage to work out something together. So this is something I would like to encourage you to think innovatively about what we could do together. And if you have idea, bring them on the table, put them on the table. If we have ideas, we will do the same. But this is my message to you. Think also about this aspect, that we would like to scale up the activities of all of us and hopefully cooperate in the future as partners. Okay, so I don't know, Christina, are
I
we
think that we
just
have
calling
last-
for a break now?
Yeah, I have that we have last comment from Yasha, if I say it correctly. Here is a question connected with Canva. I know that Canva is, very popular one, but maybe someone is not using it and it is really helpful. Here's a question about, producing content in different languages in social media by AI. I think that English is the most popular, and generative AI was learning itself by using English. And there's a huge article connected with different languages. Especially, I was deep dive into Hindu and the different languages in India, just because of my business interest there. And generally speaking, the other languages are also great translated, but you have to be really careful about when I'm just using, for example, Polish. I use great translation between English and Polish, especially some idioms. Not informal words, and it is really great translated into Poland. And it was really Polish, and it is really difficult to find this translation into dictionary. Big dictionaries like Cambridge Dictionary, Collins, and etc. But you have to be really careful about languages, about the languages from our region here in Central and Eastern Europe. It could be, need some critical assessment from us. Is it okay or not? And if you use tools, I think that it is good to use translators. So AI is a narrow version. It means that it's task oriented. So it's better to translate your language into English in a translator, and then use this English version to the chatbot, and then translate to your language. I know that this is really complicated, but it helps you to gain a good translation into your words. So this is something from my experience that how it works in Polish. And Polish is not, easy language. It's not, common in the words. It's, small language. It's only 40 million people. Okay.
We've got another comment about translator, chat.
Sure. I'm using chat as a translator, and it's even deeper than DeepL. But I'm translating a lot, and especially I'm looking for very specific words. DeepL is good, it's great. Sometimes I'm talking about, these nuances in languages, and ChatGPT is very, very good one. And even my English teacher is using it, and there's lots of, courses for language, because it's LLM, it's large language models, because they are using languages, and they are very useful. But what I was mentioning is really, copy paste between, different tools, and it is a specific era. Okay, I think that we all deserve for a break. Hello, are you there? Because we have to move to next part, and I will look at number of people.
It seems there are 21 participants, so I think we could.
It's perfect. So when you look at these 10 ways of NGOs, and I'm really glad that you know of them, but if you would like to innovate frequently, it is, coming back to these eras. And also now we'll move to creative way and other tools. So in combination of the additional tools, you can boost the creativity. Okay, so you mentioned it, but also looking at different stakeholders for NGOs, it's really useful to look at, their problems, desires as an inspiration for innovation, or how to deliver the value in different ways. I list here some of possible stakeholders. So the clients, you call them. I call them beneficiaries, donators, grantors, founders, employees of NGOs, and volunteers. So it's good to look at each group of these people and think about what their needs are. What kind of opportunities we can create for them, what is important to them, who else can be involved in the process from the group of people we are already reaching. what other people should we include in our activities? What haven't we done so far that would be worth doing? And it's not about, general as NGOs, but also looking by different groups of people and looking for their needs. And I think that I will not be dividing us into groups to make this work. And I think that we can just make this exercise in the same way as the exercise in previous task. So I think that the example from Czechia about this supporting women development, looking for a job, it's a good example. I do not know if there are other volunteers who would like to look at your NGOs, introduce your NGOs, and think about how to innovate differently, or what kind of different volunteers you can or other group of people would like to add.
I can tell some words about our NGO.
Okay.
My name is Lena Mikhailova, and I'm a representative of NGO in Krakow, in Poland. It is Fundacja Kocham Dębniki. I'm the coordinator of Ukrainian community here. And I'm Ukrainian, and I came to Poland when the war started, not earlier. And together with two Polish women, we have this NGO which supports Ukrainian moms and their children, refugees. We provide them with different courses, such as language courses, English, Polish. Also, we have some psychological group meetings, which we call Coffee with the Smell of Happiness, where women can come and share with other women everything they want. They are ready to share. I mean, starting with their problems and ending with their ideas or how to overcome difficult situations. Also, we have a charity shop where people can get food once a month, and we also provide them with clothes, shoes, hygiene items, and so on and so forth. But the most important, I think, this charity shop is not as a distribution point. It is not the key idea of it. When people come to our charity shop for the first time, they usually choosing something what they need for their children or for themselves. They start sharing their emotions, their stories, and then they come again and again. And especially if to speak about elderly people, coming to this charity shop is the reason why they get up in the morning and go into the world, let's say so. I mean, to the publicity, to not to stay at home all the time. So also we have Nordic walking for people, for women, not only for women, even for families, because we also have elderly men, 60 plus. So they all together come, I mean, families come and spend their time together. And if to speak about innovative what makes I'm sorry, I need to check. I took a photo about those 10 tips, 10 ways of NGOs, how we can innovate. Actually, when we started feeling the lack of money, we believed in networking. So with the help of network, with the help of other community centers, foundations, exactly from Greece, for example, we are able to continue our activity.
Okay, this is example of previous exercise. Now I'm showing you how you can innovate, looking at different people you are collecting. So I think that your example is great to think to discuss it a little bit. And I think that here is a good, if you think about your clients or people who you are supporting, you mentioned, courses, Polish, language courses, Polish and English. Maybe this is something, you can look if the needs of your clients are changing. Maybe the languages are, enough. Maybe there could be some different courses, and you can look for other volunteers who can support these people.
Yeah, we all the time we are trying to improve our activities, and actually we create new activities according to the demands from people. For example, we could see the necessity of physical activity, so we found a volunteer who conducts Pilates activity for them. Also, we can see that not people, but children aged 8+, they are not busy after school here in Poland. So we created something like a camp for them, so that we create different activities every day. Yeah, we are trying to be useful for people as much as possible.
Okay. And I think that it would be a great idea, as Agnieszka mentioned before, about, connecting you all together. You are in this program. So I think that if you connected with the girl, the woman from Prague, from Czechia, and they are just some great solutions for, the coaching diary, it could be something translated into, or maybe it's translated in Ukraine. So it would be good to, some accelerating solutions that you have already think of, or sharing your experience. As you mentioned, you are just actively responding to the needs. You see that in the afternoon, children do not have time, do not have something to do, and you invent this camp. So I think it would be, maybe we can make these exercises, all together, because you get to know each other better. And it would be also to comment all together. I see that Mariusz is also would like to join.
Yes, actually, following on what you said, Krystyna, sorry, I'm Mariusz Godlejewski, Studium 6 Foundation from Toruń, but I speak to you today from Grudziądz. We are actually implementing social innovation, our intermediation agency, which is in the international program Google.org Impact Challenge. We are at the stage of scaling that innovation. But following on what you said, today actually we received an email that the EU Commission is launching this initiative, approaches to mitigate the social consequences of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine within the EU countries. And it's a call under the ESF Plus Social Innovation Plus initiative. And organizations from across Europe can access up to 700,000 euro for implementing their innovative responses to mitigate the consequences. And actually, the way to apply is to have the consortia of at least 2 organizations from 2 different countries. So this is a perfect opportunity to us to actually get in touch, connect, and maybe apply for this for the grant. So I would encourage anyone who would like to, if you allow, I can post a link on the chat.
That's perfect. Yes, Mariusz,
who
that's
would be
great.
interested.
Sorry. That's perfect. Sorry for jumping in, but this is exactly what we are hoping will come out of the project. So please, and let's have a rule that anyone who has some information, some idea, let's share. We meet every 2 weeks. Let's share it on our chat, or maybe if you have, I don't know, we could also create like a WhatsApp group. I'm not sure about Ukrainian participants. Probably you use some other platforms too often, but if we can agree to or simply emails, let's think also about the most appropriate and easy form of communicating and exchanging ideas. But that's exactly what we are looking for.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so So this is a serious offer. I'm applying to anyone who would be interested in joining forces to apply for this opportunity. This is exactly what we do. We are providing services from. First of all, this innovation comes from idea of interlinking the support of the public institutions, of the NGOs, and having this one point in the city, in the degraded areas where we usually work. So anyone who needs help can come in and access the help. So when the escalation of the war started 2 years ago, to our agency, a lot of Ukrainian refugees started coming in, and including them in our work. We broader the scope of our work. This allowed us to access the grant and programs that were directly directed to the organizations helping refugees. At this stage, we are one of the organizations in our region that is the most active and is well recognized for the work. So our innovation really worked across the different beneficiaries. It was appealing to different. Well, we don't work with donors yet, but the grantors. We had funds from Visegrad Fund, from Active Citizens Fund, from local funds, from Ashoka. So we have a lot of opportunities because we are interlinking. And Lena said something interesting. She was referring to that we create this, we create that. We are actually creators. So the innovation comes from creativity. So if you're looking for innovative ways of working, you have to be creative. So what we're doing as well as part of our mission, we inspire leaders, we build leaders, like we want to have local leaders in our communities. So where we are now in Grudziądz, one of the issue is that the teenagers, the youths are leaving the town because they don't see opportunities for themselves. So a part of our work is to connect other NGOs in the region and do some creative workshops, some inspirations, to meet them with mentors that work in IT, for example. So they develop the creativity. So like we are doing a lot of work, but my main question to you is there anyone from the other country than Poland that is looking to join forces and apply for this opportunity? And especially if you're working in the fields of job activation, of housing markets, if you work with refugees, please contact me. Let's talk. Maybe we can create this, bring this innovation to the other countries as well. So thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
Okay, and my question is about the leaders. You are talking about making leaders among the refugees, or you are looking for leaders local
as well. So we closely work with one of the NGOs that was established not even a year ago, established by 2 Ukrainian psychologists. They really brought their experience working from Ukraine, and we started working with them in 22, where during one of our projects we wanted to include psychologists from Ukraine, so they work directly in the language of Ukrainian refugees. So they are under our mentoring at the moment. So together we applied for several grants. They got all of them. They are in the Shipyard Foundation Business Unusual program. They are growing, and we work this way with other Ukrainian refugees and other NGOs. As I speak, the room next to me, there's a workshop. Actually, there's few ladies online and in person on the workshop here in Grudziądz. So this is what we do, and yeah, it's in our mission to grow, to help local leaders to just take the lead in their local communities. and really create, I'm going to use that word, Lena, to create opportunities for the vulnerable and people from degraded areas. This is where we work. We try to inspire the communities and to bring the degraded areas back to life.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mariusz. Thank you, Lena. And I have to admit it that my heart is uplifted because, you know, as you mentioned, you are creating and you see these needs. Because I'm showing, you know, business approach, and I have to open people's eyes and see, look at the people what they are needs and be, you know, aware of that. And it's like I'm needed here.
One more sentence, very quickly. I know we're short of time. Last year there was this conference in Warsaw, the international conference, CSOs at the forefront of the refugee support. It was organized by the operators of the Norwegian funds. Over there, with the group of CSOs from across the Europe, we've been working on recommendations to the grant operators to the new perspective, which will probably be started end of this year. In that recommendations, we stated that local NGOs that have experience of helping refugees and working with refugees, they could be the mentor organizations for the new organizations that are being established by the refugees. So the refugees that are coming in, they build their own CSOs under the guidance of the established ones. So because they would know the best what are the needs, and they would know the best how to address them. And the other NGOs in local communities that are established and in majority, they probably focus on different areas support, but because of the full-scale war, they felt the need to include in that work. So if we create this system of support, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of CSOs as being established in Poland by the Ukrainian refugees, and those NGOs and those CSOs then can bring their work to Ukraine to help rebuild the country and make those connections between the Western Europe. So yes, I think we will see a lot of opportunities in the next Norwegian funds perspective. I'm sure the Visegrad Fund, who very quickly established Visegrad for Ukraine Fund, I'm sure they will be working in that field as well. I know this program is co-financed by the Visegrad Fund. So like, you know, there are opportunities across the board for CSOs to get involved in rebuilding the Ukraine. And I'm a really fan of this program because, as Lena said as well, you work with the networking. This is what we do as well. We do a lot of networking sessions, networking meetings, because we believe that by building relationships with other NGOs, we just scaling up our operation and our influence, our impact.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking at time to cover, you know, everything and let you take as much as possible. So I will skip the slides because you get this presentation, so we'll just dive into them afterwards. So we've made this exercise all together. So I think this one will be great for you. I think that, you know, the first two exercises was like easy. For you, it's a piece of cake because you are doing it all together. But here are some tips, you know, how to. These are simply creative exercises, but they are provoke innovative thinking. And I selected for you 7 methods, and just 7. And it's good to have your 1, 2 favorites, but it must, you know, boost you or provoke your thinking or just challenge the way you are working all together so far. So first is this is the names, and on next slide I have just description, and you received this presentation, so you can just use it later. So first idea is first, cheaper, better, and then it's, you know, 10 times more. Analogies, random inspiration, the worst scenario, patterns and anti-patterns, and I call it beneficiaries journey. So these are the 7, and I will skip them and just tell you the idea. So this is, faster, cheaper, better is from, startup world. It means, if you would like to survive in a business world, you need to deliver the really value. And I see that you are really innovative and you are, creatively responding to the, needs that are occurring. And but this is something that can challenge what you already done. And this is the moment that you can say what we can do faster. If we have these leaders, how we can develop this leader faster, how we can do the project cheaper, and how can we do this better. So this is something that it stop us thinking that we are doing very well and we are satisfied, but this is something making us thinking much more creatively. And this is not quantification. What does it mean faster? This is something that you can assess. You can see, your metrics, how many people you are serving till today, and so on. But this type of something, this exercise is you can do it quarterly, yearly, and challenging what you have already done. So this is one example of creative task. I just describe you, and I select this 10 times more because it's really challenging people. So 10 times more is something that how you can deliver the 8 you are already done by 10 times more from now. So this is something that sometimes you are feeling that, there's no possibilities, you can do more, you have problems with income, you have, lots of problems. But now in this situation, this is the question, how you can deliver 10 times more value. And here are the steps that, first is the concept. What does it mean 10 times more? 10 times more people, 10 times more income you have already. So this is, a blank page, but you can just list different ideas, 10 times more grants, donors, volunteers, employees, whatever. So this is something that, because it's blank, it's the area for your creativity. You can just think and adjust to your situation. Second step is select 3 or 5 concepts, how you can introduce you into the your NGOs, and then which one idea you are selecting for test. And lots of people are asking me about, what does it mean 10 times? It's impossible, or we do not have such much big team. And it's the creativity task only. So this is something that it's impossible to double our work or double, because if we double, it's, difficult. But if you have to do 10 times more, like, these leaders, this is a great example, because, means even if there are, pool of people, number of people available, you can just think about, is it only Toruń, Grudziądz, or Bydgoszcz you mentioned, or you can just cover Poland, or you can cover also these different countries here of refugees, Poland, Slovakia, Czechia. So this is something, or maybe 10 times more, so maybe the whole region, or maybe it's the challenge how to support every young teenager from Ukraine, how we can support and make them leaders. So this is, changing and making you thinking, because there will be some limitations. Here are, these 3 examples: random association, analogies, and worst scenario. So random association means, for example, how we can use ideas from airlines that support us in women development. And this is something that, I just think about these airlines and women development in Czechia. And this makes our brain thinks quite differently. Or can we think about how can we use museum, National Museum in Warsaw, to support the local leaders. And this is, such strange connections for our brains, but our brains are wonderful and they are thinking about connections. Analogies are something similar to what we are doing already. So for example, if you mentioned about the program about leaders, So we can think about Harvard's business school because they are producing leaders. So we can just use some analogies from Harvard, how we can use leaders, or we can just use from NGOs that are covering programs for leaders and what kind of analogies we can use. So this is some like we are looking for similar solutions already existed. And the worst scenario is, this is my love example, the best one, because you have to think about what can go wrong with the whole program. And this is, you have to imagine that something, strange happen. This is, I'm thinking about, maybe you have some example from NGOs and you can just think about, the worst scenario, but I think these leaders, because it's close to me, close to business, producing leaders, for example, the worst scenario is that the young teenagers are so stubborn that they decided to be they think that they are great leaders, they will not join the course, or they are starting learning the teachers how to be leader. Yeah, so this is something, abstract, but could happen. And then there is the challenge how to do it differently. I think that this is another example, patterns and anti-patterns. So this is something that accelerates your learning path. So you are looking for similar solution on the world globally, and look for how you can, the patterns is something that is best practice, and anti-patterns is something that there were some failures, and it is good to not to take into account these solutions. So you are learning on somebody else's problems. And the last one is the journey. So you can just make the path from not knowing your program to final step to, very good person prepared for according to your goal, what you would like to achieve. So this is, very, very nutshell how to do it. And I select for you just to discuss this one 10 times more, because it's I think it's the most challenging and the most difficult. And I'm looking at our time to use it for discussion more. And this is the question for you. Is there, you'd like to tell your example of your NGOs and to work how to do 10 times more your case? Is there any volunteer who would like to start?
I don't know if that will be a good example, but this is something what we did actually in the fields of helping refugees here in Ukraine. We've been asked by UNITAR to participate in their program Digital Reskilling. So this is a program of providing digital workshops for Ukrainian refugees to help them support them on the job market. So we've been asked to recruit the refugees from Poland, but we are a local NGO. So how can we scale it? How we can recruit 10 times more? That networking really helped. So on the build network of the supports and cooperation that we established over the few years through different programs, workshops, something like what we do now, connections. We just contact all of them, and we've been able to recruit over 900 refugees from whole Poland. To this program. Over 500 of them started the program, and in actually yesterday and today, there was the final where 44 of the best ones were able to show their projects to the multinational professionals. The Persona Group was participating in that, which is a multinational corporation. So this is one way of I think scaling your operation by just including others in your projects. this is what always works for us. That networking, the cross-sectional cooperation as well. This is something what we do. If you lack resources, of course, this is the easiest way. You just pick up the phone and, hey, listen, Christina, they ask us to help. Can you help as well? Send that information, and this is how it usually works for us. So something simple as picking up a phone and calling somebody asking for help, that can increase your scale up to 10 times. I don't know. This worked for us.
Okay, so this is something that you have 900. So this is something that you can just make by your connections and network. But 10 times more, it means challenging yourself. It's not 900 people, but have 9,000 people. So this is something that is exceeding your network and exceeding your possibilities. So 900 is a great result, but this is the task that is challenging. If you have to deliver such solution for 9,000 people, refugees.
So I will ask all that network to pick up the phone and ask another 10, you know, so this is like a viral scaling up.
Okay, any other ideas? Because, you know, it's, you know, just having, I just generate 3 to 5 ideas. Many other people will have, who can just build on our discussion. Any other would like to join with the ideas how to, you know, scale up from maybe 900 to 9,000, 90,000. This is something like, you know, because it's starting thinking, wow, how can we do that? And this is, you know, because networking, and this is easy because it's like, you know, snowball effect, but this is something that you have to change thinking, you know, how to achieve, you know, 9,000. It's really big. I think that social media, everyone is not only asking, but, you know, just communicate all together, workplace, and, you know, asking people for bringing 10 refugees to the program. So this is the target for people. It's not only calling, but, you know, the number, and you have 3, so you are missing 7. So, you know, just having targets for volunteers to gather. So this is something that thinking differently. This is what you mentioned.
I'm thinking as well advocacy, and maybe this is a tool that will need more time and resources in organization to build up that advocacy. But what I mean by advocacy is as well working with press and media and actually showing those stories of our beneficiaries. And if they go viral, if they are being shown on the national TV or local TV or on the newspaper, this is the way as well to increase our scope and reach. So I'm a huge fan of advocacy. So for me, I try to use it as a tool in many ways. So this is what comes to my mind, that advocacy could be one of the tools to have that 10 times more.
Right.
If you agree.
I think that the idea with TV news and presenting, you know, the program and asking for, you know, and showing, you know, this example of, you know, the great result of 900 people and this 44 people, you know, with finishing the project. So this is something that you have concrete to journalists and could be, you know, asking for another and, you know, putting, you know, the website or place that can enroll. So this is it. So this is something that, you know, we see that it's easy to do, but this task, you know, make you thinking differently. And even I think that this program should be presented, you know, this effects, and should be, you know, be much more visible. Maybe, you know, if you do not have any follow-up, but maybe you can ask for grants and communicate it in this way. So this is people prefer to pay if they see the effects, and if somebody is efficient, there's much more, you know, easier to ask for donations. Yeah, so you see how it works. So this is something that, you know, it was in several minutes we are talking with Mariusz, but and the solutions are in our heads. But if you put, you know, the results 10 times more, I think the same is very similar example is from Czechia. With, you know, helping women, you know, to find, you know, job on the market, or is the coaching program. So this is another question, how to help them, 10 times quicker to do it, maybe faster find the job, better jobs. Maybe there's, you have some report what kind of jobs these women are taking, starting working in. Maybe there will be better jobs. So this is also the definition. What does this better job mean? So I do not have the answer. So this is very open, and you can find different solutions. I like very much this pattern and anti-pattern, because you have to make a great desk research, look for internet solutions. And I'm mentioning a lot about India, but there's lots of scarce resources, and they need to find different solutions. And if you are looking for how they ideas, you can just inspire with their approach. Okay, so this was this exercise with 10 times more. One thing that I'm making people aware of is sustainable innovation. It means that lots of people working on innovation in business are not focused on sustainability too often. And here I put some tips, how to think about how to make our new solutions much more planet friendly. For example, these are some tips in the era of digital. So people are producing applications, websites, landing page, social media, lots of posts, but they are not counting the carbon footprint. And this is the moment that we should think about, how to produce, deliver the same value with fewer number of screens or notifications, or not make people be involved in, with the devices. So this is like tips for you if you are producing something, or to ask questions how you can limit the negative effect on the planet. Second, to hear trends. So anti-Black Friday, it means that not so many people are starting, going for promotions, and they are more focusing on conscious buying and buying things that they need. So it's like this one. Another is eco-confused. So people do not know what is eco, what is not eco. And eco tips, people would like to know how to support good behavior. The third area is design, how to make a multiple use, how can make be used several times, how can be the solution be used for much more longer time, and how to finish, using some solution. And in the business era is inclusion, better standards of living, or modern organization. So this is something that you invent a new solution, you can just think about how to use it. And I think that we can, as an example, it could be the coaching diaries. So this is the question, how many, screens we can use it, how people will be using it afterwards, how to make it durable, and how can it be make it inclusive for many people. For example, somebody who has problems with their sights, or do not see colors in a proper way. So this is something that it is good to take into account. Another approach is looking for trends and using trends to look for innovations. And I was thinking about showing you different trend reports, and I decided to list some tips how to ask for trends, ChatGPT or Gemini. Because why I propose you to ask these questions to look for, because you can look at trends for interesting group of people. For example, if you are focusing on adults, you can ask about the trends among adult people, and ask about specific eras, industries, region, age or sex. So, for example, you can ask about adult women in Poland, or maybe in Warsaw, or big cities or small cities. And you can just also ask for sources and links to websites, and also ask for PDF reports. Why trends are important? Because sometimes if you are connected with, daily delivering daily aid, you can just be responding to what you see, what you are facing. If you look at trends, you can just think about, what's next. This is like, the digital skills. So you can just focus on delivering digital skills, but maybe on the market, there will be new skills that will be, will be needed on the market. So instead of digital skills, or maybe not only digital skills, but including other skills, you can add additional courses or make people aware that there's something new. And the same is with, with looking for jobs for people, supporting people to find a job. So current market situation is, you know how it looks like. But the next step, what is important is it's good because you are preparing people for the future, and you are not focusing only here and now, what will happen, but you can think about what happened in 6 or 12 months later. Also, the trends can be supportive for you if you look for donators, or you will be looking for companies that would like to be supportive to your organization. And I don't know how many organizations, how many collaborations you have with business, but these trends are also good source of information. Where is the area that business would like to be involved in supporting you or giving you money? Or, as we are talking about, one example of Karta Pobytu, how to prepare it, maybe there are some needs from the business side that there will be. They will need support from NGOs, and you will be knowing the trends. You will be able to prepare your offering for the business and collaborate with them. I don't know if you have any examples or ideas you would like to share with trends, and how you so far use trends to support any area of your NGOs. One of the trend I see, it is called, this is the abbreviation ESG. I don't know if you heard about it. Have you heard about it, ESG, for companies? So I explain. Yes, sure, great. So this is a question because not everyone knows it. So lots of companies would like to do many good things in the area of social responsibility, and they are looking for collaboration collaboration in this area. And lots of simple solutions are already available, but much more companies are involved in this in ESG field. They look for new solutions. And one, for example, I'm supporting companies for looking for searching, for solutions on the market. And for example, biodiversity is needed, and technology. Yes, I'm CSR politics also, but I'm talking about ESG because it's, regulation, and lots of companies will be forced to introduce these changes. So this is also the field. If you are looking for incomes or just collaboration with business that would like to, find resources, this is the area that companies will be more and more engaged. Now is the level of preparing ESG reports, ESG strategies for companies, but next step is a huge area for much more advanced support for companies. As the last thing from the innovation approach, here is the list of different innovative methods you can use. I'm just not telling you or presenting them how to work with them. But if you would like to be interested in them, it is worth to use them. Design thinking is the the oldest one, but it is really focused on the human and people who are in the process. So and it is the first design tool that was supporting for learning how to look for this prepare the solution, prepare the prototype and test it. So this is it. Service design was invented later, but it was connected with service, which means that lots of invisible things that happen when the value is delivered. Third area is value proposition. It means how to look at different perspective of people. So what is the problem, what their needs, what they are the opportunities, how to organize and put into the order solutions according to the highest value for people. Lean startup method is, how to, for startups, how to prepare innovation in a very quick way and iterative. Customer journey is mapping, the whole process, how people are behaving and how you can just add and deliver value for them. Business model is great source for organizing organization, NGOs organization, because you can just think about partners, we can think about activities you are delivering, you are looking for costs and revenue stream. System thinking is much more advanced solution than design thinking or service design, because you are looking for different groups of people, societies, environment, and see the interconnection between these people. And the final one is sustainable business model. So this is, the long list. I think it's there's a book with 40 different sustainable business model. So it also means how to deliver the solution in more sustainable way. So this is the list, and if you would like to make this innovative process in much more regular way, step by step, these are different tools. You can just look for book, or just look for courses, online courses, which method you prefer. You can deep dive into it and look how to do it, especially when you are adding technology for innovations. When you think about a new way of delivering solutions, they are very simplify the process and support in the decision. This is like follow up after this meeting. We have 15 minutes for Q&A, and this is the moment if you have any questions or would like to discuss something or come back to any slide. This time is for you.
If there are not any questions, maybe or any comments, I would like to ask you, Krystyna, could you share with us like the story of the biggest, innovation that you saw in the context when you did not believe that such an innovative thought could really happen, and you were surprised that something that was maybe even simple, but somebody simply needed to think about it, was implemented?
I think that the biggest, I do not have such solution, because I have different, when I'm facing innovations, is like the mindset of people is the problem. So sometimes it's like people do not believe you in this idea and are not supporting you. So this is the most difficult, and you have to be, determined. And if you are certain about the solution, you have to go and be the ambassador of the idea. I think that this is one example of this is the first digital financial platform in Europe. It will be produced in Poland, so it was announced last year from BIK, our BIK. So this is, we have scanning from the, for normal or the citizen, and this is telling you about your financial condition, you can get credit or not. The same will be produced for companies scanning. So this is connected with ESG. So Krzysztof and Mariusz mentioned that they know ESG, but lots of investors do not believe in this solution, and it is built on AI, and this is tracking companies' results. And we developed it and sell for BIK, and it will be introduced. And this is the first digital platform in Poland. So this is something that everyone knows that ESG is important. Everyone knows that companies should have it. But if you have this idea, the problem is with, convincing people that this innovation is worth following. So it's not about technology, because technology is available today, but it's, how to be, strong, stubborn, and say, okay, I will follow this idea. So this is it. I'm working with, with big companies with, very, very advanced technologies. And I see that technology is not the problem. It's, how to organize people, how to make people collaborate with each other, how to share ideas, how to be collaborative. And this is the challenge. I see huge resources, but they are not used just because of the, human being mindset. So this is the problem.
Krystyna, we have a question on chat, via chat from Krzysztof Polaszek. If you could address that.
No, it will be tracking your results. So this is this tool, the ESG tool, is because it's connected with financial sector. So banks need to have 40% of green finance. It means that they need to put green loans to companies for green transformation. And this is very expensive activity for companies. And this is the problem, that if company receives such loan, there is a problem of saying this company is making the positive changes in the company or not. So the bank and this is the problem with verifying, is the bank delivering this 40% of the portfolio is green finance. Okay, you have heard. And you have, we put AI into companies, and it is not, gathering in Excel, but it is gathered via technology. Okay, I see that Mariusz let them know, and you are working with business in the field. That's great. Okay, and here examples. If you would like to have ideas how to prepare, so it is good to look for, the biggest companies and how they develop ESG reports. But ESG report is, this. I do not want to talk about ESG here. So if you have any questions about innovations, maybe something that inspired you, or would like to, share your stories.
Okay, if we do not have any other questions, I know that it is a long time, 3 hours, especially when we work before. So thank you all for your patience, and thank you, Krystyna, for your very insightful presentation, inspirational, I would say, presentation. I do hope that we will have new and improved ideas after having heard that. And then, first of all, that we will also be able to implement them. I would like to ask you about your presentation. You will deliver it to us, and then we will deliver it to all the participants. Maybe you could also share it via chat. I don't know whether it is possible, but don't worry, we will mail you the presentation that you have seen today. And I would also like to remind you that we have another session on the 6th of March. Our Ukrainian friends are taking over, and they will be responsible for the essentials of the training. And the session will be about fundraising. Once again, 6th of March, the same timing from 3 to 6 Central European time. In Ukraine, it is 1 hour later from 4th to 7. And the participation in the next session is also obligatory for all those who want to be considered candidates for our study trip to Warsaw in September 2004 this year. So once again, thank you very much, Christina, for your presentation. Thank you for your participation and hope to see you all in 2 weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.